Hello, I'm Grin, and welcome to this video. Well, as I mentioned in the previous video talking about E3, Banjo and Kazooie are now in Super Smash Bros. And I'm so excited about this, you can bet your buns I'm not restricting myself to only talking about it in that video. So let's have a rather in-depth look at the moves that Banjo-Kazooie seem to show off in their Smash Bros. Announcement video. But to begin with, before I start talking in depth about each move showcased, I want to preface the video by saying that I love the art style and animation style they've gone with. I'm saying this now so I don't have to keep repeating my love for the style each time I say anything critical. It looks great and I can't wait to play it. Now let's get into the itty-gritty and the overly in-depth analysis and nitpicking. First up is the Talon Trot, which appears in both Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. It looks spot on. As you can see here, what I'm going to do is show it in the launch video, then show it how it looks in one of the original games, and then show it side by side slowed down a bit so you can really get a look at the animation they've gone with, and the Talon Trot looks pretty much perfect. It's a staple of Banjo-Kazooie. I'm not surprised that it made it into the game, and in reality I would have been pretty surprised if it hadn't. So let's move on to the next one, the Claw Swipe. If you've only played the first Banjo-Kazooie, you would probably think this was a pretty obvious inclusion, though in reality it's not really, as the Claw Swipe doesn't return for Banjo-Tooie. But I suppose as a simple close-up melee attack, it was an easy one to go with. The way they've done it in Banjo-Smash actually looks way more powerful than it does in Banjo-Kazooie, and overall it looks pretty good. Then onto what is more of a mainline staple in the Banjo-Kazooie games, appearing both in Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, is the Beak Barge. It appears to have a smaller range of attack than it does in Tooie and Kazooie, which perhaps seems to be because the long-distance sideways melee attack that they put into the game seems to have been reserved for the Wonder Wing move, and also maybe, and this is just conjecture, that if they put the Beak Barge into the game in the way it is in the Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie games, it would have perhaps worked a little too closely to Captain Falcon's Falcon Kick. But that is, as I said, just conjecture. I've got no proof, so let's move on to the Rat-a-Tat Rap. This is one of the few moves in the Smash reveal that I'm not entirely happy with. Banjo puts his shoulder into it a bit more than he does in Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, which is artistically fair enough, as we're only seeing it from the side profile, being a 2D platform fighter after all, but Kazooie seems to come out from the backpack nowhere near as far as she does in both Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, and because of this, you have to look really closely to see that it's actually Kazooie getting the hit, because with the shoulder put in and the speed of the attack, it really looks more like Banjo doing a shoulder barge than it does Kazooie doing a peck. And since this is one of the signature moves in the franchise, I do wish this one looked a little bit more spot on. However, fortunately, what does look spot on is the egg firing from Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. The animation looks perfect, it looks just like the original but updated, and perhaps this is a stronger attack compared to her next one, in which she fires quicker and the duo is on the move. This next move, which I absolutely did not expect to see brought into Smash, is the Kazooie Rifle from Banjo-Tooie. I don't think this move has an actual name, I've called it the Kazooie Rifle myself, but it appears in Banjo-Tooie during a few first-person Perfect Dark GoldenEye style shootout sections, in which Kazooie is held like a rifle. Because it is first-person, you don't really see the animation of it unless you go into the multiplayer, and from the multiplayer angle, they really did nail it. There is a lot more animation to the Smash one than the Tooie one, which makes sense because you didn't really see the one in Tooie much at all. I mean, in the Tooie one there's not even really a shoot animation, so they've really taken a pretty small element of the game that wasn't exactly fleshed out, and developed it really nicely, so major props on that one. And then we have the Breagle Blast, which is another Banjo-Tooie only move. Once again, I really didn't expect to see this one brought in. Once again, they've really nailed the look and the attack speed of it. It looks in the Banjo-Smash reveal the way it feels in the game, and I'm really glad they put it into Smash. I don't think anyone expected them to. I really don't think it was on anyone's list of most anticipated moves to be ported, and so this one really is a nice little surprise. Then on to the next move, the Grip Grab, which is barely a move at all, though I suppose it technically is one since Banjo didn't learn how to do it until Banjo-Tooie, but it's a pretty standard staple for all Smash competitors, and is just holding onto a ledge. So I guess I'm glad that Banjo can do it, otherwise we would have been put at a distinct disadvantage. Then we have the other kind of egg firing backwards, egg pooping, if you will allow me to be so crass, which is from Banjo-Tooie. Technically it's also a Banjo-Kazooie move, but we're shown it specifically shooting an egg grenade, which wasn't part of Banjo-Kazooie and only came in Banjo-Tooie. It'll be interesting to see how many eggs they implement into the game, and whether it will just be the classic blue egg and Tooie's grenade egg, or if they put a few more in that you can switch between. For instance, fire egg giving lasting damage and an ice egg freezing or slowing opponents would be a pretty neat inclusion. Also, it's rather interesting that it appears that other players, possibly allies only, can pick up and throw your grenade once launched as if they're items. Either way, cool addition. It would have been pretty weird if they didn't put egg pooping into the game, but I am rather surprised that they did put grenade eggs in. Then, not really a move, but Banjo-Kazooie's taunt appears to be based on the bows that Banjo performs when unlocking a note door in Banjo-Kazooie. Once again, a really nice little head nod that I didn't expect, but a really appreciated inclusion. Then, continuing on in the reveal trailer, we have a shock spring jump followed by a feathery flap. Feathery flaps are your standard double jump move in both Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, where rather than actually getting an extra jump, it more of extends the duration of your ongoing jump's airtime. The shock spring, however, can only be achieved in the games through spring pads, which are found throughout Banjo-Tooie and Kazooie, so it will be interesting to see how in Smash they are actually implemented in the game. From the footage we're shown, it doesn't really give much away. The pad is already there at the start of the cut, so I don't really know. Maybe you have to hold down the button and the pad appears for you as a sort of charged up jump. Either way, the animation for both of these moves are perfectly done. And then we've got the Wonder Wing, which is both, once again, from Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. This seems to be, as I mentioned earlier, the long-distance melee attack they've gone with rather than the beak barge. It's fine, I guess. Kazooie shields more than she did in the game, and golden feathers flying off, which I assume maybe indicates how long you can do it for, and maybe requires a recharge time. And then in not a move news, we have Banjo running along with a beehive. I haven't played the new Smash Bros yet, and really have, since the 64 version, only played the game rather sporadically at house parties over the last few years, so I was confused why the honeycomb Banjo was running with looked so much more realistic than the ones found in Banjo-Kazooie. Upon looking it up, apparently it's because it's an already existing item from the Animal Crossing franchise, which is kind of cool, because it does exactly what a Banjo-Kazooie honeycomb would have probably done in the game if stolen from a beehive with bees on it. So it's pretty neat that an already existing item works so well with the characters, even if aesthetically it looks kind of distracting. And then we have another example of the jump followed by the feathery flap, which, more than anything, just affirms that that's how the moves are going to work in the game, so good to see that. And then moving on to the next move, we have the flap flip, which is from Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, and kinda doesn't look quite right. In the review trailer, you really have to zoom in to see this one, but from the looks of it, it's just far too fast, and Kazooie seems to have very little input. It looks like Banjo is, without Kazooie's assistance whatsoever, just doing a full-on gymnastics backflip Mario style, which is kind of beyond his athletic ability. It really needs to be slowed down, and Kazooie's assistance really needs to be more obvious. Have her wings come out further, have them billow upwards, give her something, because I don't think Banjo is able to quite do that. Or at least he certainly doesn't betray his ability to do so in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, nor does he do it when split off from Kazooie in Banjo-Tooie. And then we have the Beak Bayonet, which is once again from the first-person segments of Banjo-Tooie. It is less of a lunge attack in Smash than it is in Tooie, and is instead kind of a quick jab attack, but once again, it's a really nice addition that I did not expect to see implemented in the game, so kudos to them for that. And finally, or almost finally, we have what appears to be the final Smash move, which is the Ginginator that was used to take down Grunty at the end of Banjo-Kazooie. In Kazooie, each of the coloured Jinjo statues are freed and launched one at a time before the final Ginginator statue is, but in this, they all come at the same time. I think this was a great change, especially considering the fast-paced nature of a fighting game, and it was a really cool choice for the final Smash move. And the reason I said almost finally is, at the end, we do see Banjo sneaking along to steal some food. You can sneak in Banjo-Tooie, so I guess it's technically a move, though I'm not really sure if they actually implemented it in the game, or if it was just a fun thing to put in the trailer, because I can see no real benefit to being able to sneak in Super Smash Bros. And so that's my rather long, rather windy in-depth analysis of the moves showcased in the trailer for Banjo-Kazooie and Smash. Did I miss anything? Is your favourite move included, or has a move from the games you liked not been included? I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you would like to join me on social media, a link to my Twitter and the channel Grin Discord, the Echo Chamber, is available in the description of this video. With all of that said and done, thanks for watching, and until next time, I have been and still am Grim Grindle. Stick around now to see a shilling a shirt that Grin designed. It has a bear on it, but it's not Banjo, but it does have a pun in the title of the product. Through the beauty of capitalism, we've established a way in which you can exchange a amount of currency in order to get one of the shirts. And if you wish to do so, a link allowing you to pursue that goal is also available in the description of this video. Hello, I'm Grim Grindle, the channel Grin representative currently wearing this shirt. Are you sick of going around with no shirt on? Are you tired of your friends making fun of you for not owning enough clothes with bears on it? Well, that can all change today, thanks to Channel Grin's own grizzled old sailor shirt. It's a grizzly bear who is a sailor. Get it? Well, you can get it today by following the link in the description and buying it. Remember, it's only money, so you might as well give it to us in exchange for this shirt. Don't go bare-chested, go bare-chested with the Channel Grin grizzled old sailor shirt today.